What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, doing another rebuild on Madden 20. I know we've done a ton of them, even though this week it feels like it's more rebuilds, but it was just more spread out, actually. So it felt like a lot earlier in the week, and then now it, enough of that, whatever. We are doing a realistic rebuild of the Atlanta Falcons. We haven't done one in ages, and we obviously, in that case, haven't done one with their updated rosters. Of course, we all know they took a very low-risk decision to go for Todd Gurley, who definitely can turn his career around. The whole, quote-unquote injury situation. Hopefully he can get past that. We do have, a great number one wide receiver, great number two wide receiver, a solid number two wide receiver, and then a really weird trade where they kind of over-traded for Hayden Hurst. It was a very high pick, if I'm not mistaken, from the Falcons to the Ravens. And then, of course, we also know they took A.J. Terrell, which a lot of people thought was also a reach. And then also Davidson, who is going to be the number 2 DT. I think what we're going to do is move this team to a 4-3, just so we can put Fowler down at left end and then start, the linebackers. Doesn't really matter too much. That's pretty much that. I think the cornerback group is going to be a little rough, but we do have 2 star development guys there. I gave Terrell star, I gave Davidson star. So this isn't the worst starting roster we've ever had, right? It's all right. But you know what's not all right? The fact that you haven't liked the video and subscribed if you're new, or you didn't follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, or the second channel PKR Plays, or follow me on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. How many things am I going to freaking ask? I'm going to add more things in the future. I won't, I promise. Maybe. So we did sign someone in free agency. It was kind of actually big, but I don't know if he'll be on the team long term. This is literally what the offensive line is the offense is going to look like with Hennessy playing left guard. We signed Darren Lee out of free agency, a $3 million deal, which obviously isn't going to be long term. It could be long term, but it's unlikely because he's going to ask for a lot of money. I think the team looks okay. There's still definitely some pieces, especially revolving around the cap situation with Matt Ryan about to make a ton of money, some other guys about to make even more money following this season. One of the biggest ones is Jake Matthews is about to make like $16 million per year, which is ridiculous. We can afford Darren Lee. The question is, should we afford him? He's obviously fast, but is that really all that matters? I'm trying to think because you have Olakun as well, who does pretty well, and we can't really afford both. So it's not a bad deal. 4-year 22. If he's willing to take that, screw it. Okay, fair enough. Going to the playoffs, we looked okay, and it was unfortunately not enough for the playoffs. However, 9-7, which will leave us with another mid-tier first-round pick, which is a bit of a yikes, can't lie. How was the season, though? Matt Ryan, maybe an X factor? I don't know, the touchdowns are a little low. The yards are really high, though. Todd Gurley, the touchdowns aren't high enough to get him back to superstar. Receiving, both guys actually did really well. Calvin Julio with the low touchdown numbers. Shocker there. Calvin Ridley, though, should be superstar development. Laquan Treadwell was actually decent. Hurst was decent. It's a pretty good season, actually. And then, of course, Jake Matthews is going to be making near $20 million a year. Just gave up a ton, and I mean a ton, of freaking sacks. Looking at the sack total, speaking of, Dante Fowler could go to superstar. Everyone else was terrible. Keanu Neal, Ricardo Allen, whatever. Younghoe Koo, we did give him a contract extension of a 2-year, but it was pretty much a minimum deal. So, whether he plays well or not a huge bit of risk there. Unfortunately, we don't even see Matt Ryan on the list, which is kind of surprising. I know the touchdowns were a little low, but still really good yards. I don't know. Rookie awards, no. Any award at all? Maybe? No? Falcons follower number 2. Okay, kind of a meh. And some of the Giants are in the Super Bowl going against the Chiefs. 28-17, fair enough. Overall, basically didn't upgrade at all. And surprisingly enough, Matt Ryan actually does get back to X Factor with that performance. Looking at other positions, of course, we've seen Calvin Ridley does get to superstar. I don't think any other on offense. Defensively now, does Olakun get to star? I believe that's the case. I really wish we would have put Darren Lee at right outside linebacker. Not going to lie. As far as DevOps go, I believe it was just for Olakun. It was pretty much just Olakun. Yeah, I mean, we have other positions to look at. The defense looks all right? It just looks like they had to develop, but we're going to be paying attention to who needs contracts in the future. Like Olakun, once again, got the star development upgrade, but he is going to be costing quite a bit of money. So we probably should look to replace that position. What kind of replacement should we work on? I don't know. Probably not something high on the draft or anything like that. I think O-line is definitely a bigger need. And hell, even QB, if we see a good value there, we could go for a quarterback. So we went for some free agents. We got Randall Cobb and Dylan Cole on pretty cheap deals. We offered a couple other guys, but pretty much all backup roles. I do not know if we're going to be able to get one. I think we're just going to keep going until either Cade Mays or Calvin Ashley go. And we have our answer. Cade Mays goes to the Eagles. We're going to be going to the Raiders, boys. It was the Raiders, right? I think it was. Yay, I know things. So we get pick 19 and 83 over to the Raiders for 16 and 99. Here is Calvin Ashley. 75 overall hidden, 87 strength, 78 run block, 77. He's amazing. He's a great starting guard, and we definitely need a lineman. And I believe, should we go with Devin Collins Schooler? Seems a little high for him. We don't really have anyone else, though, so we're just going to take him. He is a 72 overall normal development player. I'm wearing number 7, which is interesting. Pretty damn athletic, though, and potentially a starter for Olakun, who we could trade off for probably a third round, maybe even better, because he still has another year on the contract. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like it would be fair, no? Did we trade that high 4th round pick to the Colts? Oh, Sam Ehlinger was there still. Damn. I don't know if that's, if he's supposed to even go around that late or not, but get the 3rd round late from the Colts next year. Round 4, pick 30, we have Duncan Williams, who looks really good. I don't know if we've ever drafted this guy, so we're going to take him, and he is normal development, 69 overall. I can kind of see why you guys like to see the randomized drafts more, because I definitely want to see them more. We also trade our 5th, 6th, and 7th, this for the Dolphins' 4th round next year, so we should have a couple of decent picks coming up next season, where we will be doing a randomized draft. This one was okay because we got a lineman. I feel like, we were very close to the way it was. So I suppose not the worst thing in the world. I'm kind of thinking what we should do with Olakun, though, because we do have to pay someone like Tack McKinley if we want to keep him. And, of course, Calvin Ashley, I believe, is star development, if I'm not mistaken. He is, okay. Not a spectacular draft at all, but we got one big position to need, and Colin Schooler could have a good year for us. Let's see, how old is Olakun? 25. Darren Lee's 25, so we can't trade him because obviously we just paid him. I actually don't know. We got that 3rd round pick. I was looking to try to get a corner off of a team, but nobody really wanted him that had a corner that was available, so I guess we're getting a 3rd round from the Jets. Another reverse. We give the Patriots Davidson and a 4th round pick for Jonathan Jones, who they always let go to free agency. So maybe we'll be able to afford him. Highly doubt it, but you never know. He'll be our new number 2. Oliver, a guy that the Falcons usually let go to free agency. We'll see the number and potentially trade him off before that deadline if that's the case. It's not anytime soon, I don't think. Maybe another season, but we kind of saved some money a little bit. I don't know, dude. Right here is the roster for the following season. Really wish Calvin... why do I keep messing up the names? I keep thinking of Calvin Ridley. Wish Todd Gurley would have gotten to superstar, but he didn't. As far as offensive line goes, Lindstrom should be a left guard with Ashley at right. And then tackle definitely could use an improvement at right. Jake Matthews is being paid so much damn money. Can't do anything about it, though. At least he's a decent player, even though he played poorly. Linebackers, we have names. Schooler goes up to a 75 overall left outside linebacker, but he's still a normal development player, just like Darren Lee. Safeties, I don't know how long that's going to last because Keanu Neal's going to need a contract, maybe even this season. I think he will, which is going to be very, very costly. But we'll see. And overall, the DBs do get a little bit better, right? Jonathan Jones is a pretty big improvement to our number 2 spot. I want Terrell to be developed as that number 1 role. He is the big fella in town. Looks great for the role. So we're going to do that and maybe sneak out 10 wins this time and just barely make it to the postseason. Kind of deserved it last season, right? It was a pretty good year. So as far as re-signings go, none of these are really favorable contracts. I can see why they let Keanu Neal go. You can afford him. It's just, should you afford him? He's a safety asking for about $10 million per year. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but $10 million per year, I might have to let him go. Alex Mack, I think we're going to let him go as well. Takk McKinley, he's not really developing well. Honestly, we should probably look to trade him here last second. I don't know. If we can try to package these two in a last-second trade block deal, I think we should try to get a first round out of them because they're talented guys. We just can't afford them. Ship them off to the Dolphins or someone that can afford them. We trade the Jaguars, McKinley, Keanu Neal, and a 5th-round pick for their first-round pick, which right now isn't looking too hot for us. But still, we're at least getting something out of a trade for players that we just, we're pretty much just about to let go. So this was actually a little surprising, especially after that trade deadline situation. Okay, that was really surprising because we lost a few games near the end, but we actually go 11-5, even though we lost a really good pass rusher on paper and a really good strong safety. Fortunately, we also did lose the last 3 games, but that's beside the point because it was still a really good year. Looking at those stats, take a look. Matt Ryan, very solid numbers. Really solid. Might even be MVP numbers. Todd Gurley, not so much, unfortunately, but it's fine. Julio did well. Calvin Ridley this time, not so much. Hayden Hurst, maybe good enough for a dev up. We'll see. Kind of close. Jake Matthews did better this season. And offensively, an okay season, I guess. Sack totals, just absolutely terrible this year. Pick totals, A.J. Terrell with 6 of those bad boys. That is nice. Young Ho Koo, really good season, actually. I'd like to see what these awards were. MVP, Matt Ryan, really? Number 5. That seems kind of harsh. Best player in the NFC, though. Looking at rookie awards, nothing there. Best QB, not really surprised. Best receiver, Julio, number 3. O-line, Alex Mack, all the way at 10, who's going to be not on the team anymore soon. Yeah, this is a little bit of a surprising one. This team doesn't really feel, AJ Terrell was the best DB. Could be a dev up. Just doesn't seem like a team that really deserves an 11-5 season. It's kind of weird. I don't know, but hey, I will definitely take it. Then again, you look at it, we're an 86 overall. The Bears, they're 82, so 4 overall boost. I guess we are an okay team. And of course, with that extra first round, which hopefully the Jaguars lost a few games near the end there because they were off to a really weird start too. They were 5-3 to start the season, which is really surprising. Unfortunately, you've seen Miami there. I think we have their 4th round pick or something like that. Yikes. But looking at the game, the Bears start out with a touchdown drive. We get a touchdown ourselves. 10-7, 14-10, 13-14. Very close game here at half. We are now down by 4. We are back up by 3. Really good drive. Gets them 3. We get 3. And we have done enough to advance the divisional round, beating the, not a super hard team in the Bears, but still, we won. They didn't. Todd Gurley, really 50-50. That year 1, I thought, maybe that was going to be a super special year, and it just wasn't. I also don't know if Todd Gurley should actually be on contract for us still or not. Divisional against the Packers. A couple of classic matchups, Packers-Falcons, so it might be a nice one here. Hopefully in our favor. Kansas City moves on again. Shocker. All right, Matty Ice, show the league you are underrated, buddy. 7-3, 7-6, 10-6. Defense is doing all right for itself. Offense needs to make those plays count, though. 13-10. And second half, it's not looking good. 20-10 right now. We need to get some points up. We get 3. And unfortunately, that's just not going to be enough. Offense just didn't do enough in this game. Although there is a last-second push here. I mean, you gotta make it count, right? This is a little Ew, Todd Gurley's wearing number 31. What the hell is wrong with them? Speaking of Todd Gurley, who's looking chunky as hell. Tell me Todd Gurley doesn't look big. Reminding me of Steven Jackson here. Randall Cobb on the outside wearing in the 80s for a number. Yikes. Throw it. Damn it, Za'Darius is a monster. It's the 2-minute warning. Down 14. We might just force this to Julio. Not really much of a force in Julio Jones in the playoffs. Drops an open one. As far as the name Julio Jones goes, that is a wide open pass that is dropped. There's no arguing it. That's wide open. And Hayden Hurst can't catch his ball. This is despicable. Randall Cobb on the outside. Julio Jones. We're moving Julio. We can't interrupt the please? Can we move Julio? No? Why is it that we can't? Thank you. Jesus, man. We can't disrupt the right side. I can't even throw it. And that's a great try by Calvin Ridley. Unfortunately, there's the playoffs. We might have actually had Treadwell in there, but I just didn't expect him to get open, so I just kind of ignored the route completely from pre-snap. And the best part is we actually do make the stop. Of course, the AI is not going to do anything with the time. Unfortunately, that is going to be the postseason for us. It was a magical little run considering, I didn't feel like we were even ready yet. We dismantled the team at the deadline and still made a really good season out of it. Looking at sack numbers, Za'Darius Smith was relentless, as he always is. And our kicker missed actually got blocked on a field goal, but even then, it wasn't really going to change a whole lot. Skipping ahead to the Super Bowl, I'm trying to think of a dev up that, maybe AJ Terrell, the superstar, that could happen. Chiefs versus Packers. Packers do win that game, surprisingly. Looking at the dev ups, like we said, Matt Ryan had a really good season, so call it unrealistic, do whatever the hell you want. This shouldn't be regressing. Like, he's, 36, did it say? He shouldn't be regressing like this, at all. He's actually playing better every single season. So we're going to fix him a little bit. We'll put him at 89 there. Deep accuracy's got Julio Jones, so make that all fair. I'm not going to change Julio's ratings just because he is a a wide receiver after all. And, speed plays a huge factor, but even then, he's still an amazing player. What is his regression, actually? He did lose 2 speed. Speaking of spec catch, now that I'm going to change the spec catch. Why would his spec catch go down? He's still the same guy. He's just, I don't know. Let's get that spectacular catch up to, honestly, let's put it at 99. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I really don't care for people that are going to complain about these things. It's my rebuild. I'm going to do what I think is right and fair. Speaking of right and fair, we're going to make sure that Todd Gurley is getting compensated the way he should be. I don't want him on some dumb deal that he wouldn't be on in real life because, once again, I think it'd be... I actually have no idea what it would be, but I think he would be basically walking soon if we didn't re-sign him. So, as far as the team goes, no dev-ups on defense, unfortunately, not even, linebackers. And then offensively, no dev-ups either. But the team still looks okay, and we have at least a hopeful decent draft pick. I'm not going to spoil it for ourselves. Actually, I will spoil it. I kind of want to see. Please, Jaguars, please keep going slowly. It's looking good. Ooh, 8-8. So, a top 16-ish pick. So, that's all right, I suppose. It's not bad. Could have been a lot worse. Looking at the re-signings, Shane Ray is on the list. Like we said, Alex Mack. Kazi, when the hell was he on the list? Oh, man, we are broke. And we decided not to keep the fellas. Remember, we didn't decide to keep McKinley or Keanu Neal, and we have $2 million to work with. That's because our cap is screwed up from the players like Jake Matthews, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. There's some contracts here that are deadly bad. And some of these backup linemen, $6-7 million for a 67 overall. We got to see if we can do anything. I don't think we will be able to, but we have to try. So as far as what we need, we could use a number 3 wide receiver. Not the biggest of needs, though. We need not really need a center. We need a right tackle, probably. A center, maybe. And then looking at the defensive side of things, linebacker, I suppose. We definitely need a strong safety. I got rid of Ricardo Allen. He was making like $7 million on the year, so we saved a decent bit there. It's really just trying to stay cheap enough to be able to resign some of these guys. These contracts, man. Grady Jarrett, he's a great DT, don't get me wrong, but $20 million a year? I mean, he looks great, right? It's just he's not performing for $20 million a year. Julio Jones probably is worth the $20 million per year, and then Matt Ryan's like $40 million a year. I mean, there's some very expensive names. I mean, unless the Falcons hit on their rookie classes this year and the future and all that, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, man. I don't know if they have the talent. And obviously, you have like no money to sign free agents. Charvarius Ward is a very high overall here, by the way. Holy crap. I want to see if we can maybe get Sherman on a 1-year, $8 million deal to play safety. And then as far as that, I don't think there's really much else we can do. Maybe we can try to take a stab at David Njoku. I don't know. We signed Alex Mack for a 1-year, $5 million deal, so he's returning to the team. And then Solomon Thomas on a 2-year, cheap-ish deal, just in case we don't land a good defensive end. I offered some other cheap contracts, but we're probably unlikely to get them, mainly backup roles. But as far as the draft goes, defensive end is the number one need. Safety is probably the number one need. Defensive end right up there, though. And I would say we'll keep our eye on linebacker, and then, of course, offensive line. Outside of that, I mean, there's really not much we can do. We have great starters. They're just expensive as hell. See what we can do, though. So they're asking us about the 5th-year option for Calvin Ridley. Normally I would say no, but I think he's going to want a ton of money anyways. So we might as well try to get it, him on another year for cheaper. And as far as that goes, I don't even know if that was true. I think he's getting $14 million the following season. Okay, dude. So starting the draft, we have pick 17. There is a pass rusher who we could definitely use. The thing is, he's projected as a mid-first, I believe. I wouldn't want to go any higher than maybe he's gone. He's on the Jets now. He's a decently high overall, I suppose, but definitely nothing else really there for us at 17 that we should trade up for. We do have everyone else, though, ironically enough. We do also have a pass rusher named Solomon Ayers who looks decent. We have a pass rusher later, at least it seems like he's a pass rusher, on the slower side, but still talented. Right now, safety, Michael Turnbull is there, early second, and Artavius Dawson, a little bit on the shorter side. I think Turnbull is one of our bigger needs. I'm going to take him. And he's a 75 overall hidden, which is, it's pretty good, right? It's starting caliber right out the gate. And Dawson goes right before our pick. I don't think I was going to take him anyways. We just need one of the DBs. The right end, unfortunately, does go, so it would appear that we might actually trade this down to end up grabbing that Ruiz guy who hopefully is decent. I don't know, that speed does worry me a bit. We trade them Sanat in 26 for 53 and 48. I believe 48 is the next year pick. Hopefully we don't get to see that pick, though, because that means everything worked out. Everything worked out and we were able to win a Super Bowl, but we'll see. So 21 in the second round, we're looking at Ruiz, who is there. Like I said, that 40 times rough. Everything else looks decent. The skills worry me a little bit, but good block shedding. I think we're going to take him. Okay, we luck out a bit here. 72 overall hidden. 22 years old. Okay, not bad. The speed's a little better than I thought. As far as 4.83 goes, 79 speed, 86 excel is decent. He's actually pretty damn talented. Yeah, I think this is a day one starter. So back-to-back day one starters. And as far as 26 goes, I don't think we're going to be taking anyone. We also have 6th pick in the 3rd round. Do we take this other safety? We could kind of use 2 because he's not, a long-time starter. And then we have 2 5th-round basic players. So, yeah, let's move down to, I don't know, mid-3rd. We trade the Texans 58 this, 70 this, and Ito Smith for 67 this, 46 next, and 78 next. Pretty massive trade. And apparently we still have our 3rd. Oh, no, this is the trade we just got. I apologize. I'm wrong. Let's go save. We got enough for next year. And enough for next year, a good excuse because This, well, actually, he kind of looks rough. But he is hidden, so, I mean, that could go anywhere. Hopefully in a good way. We have 24 and 26. I'm kind of half tempted to just take the both of the players we have. We're definitely taking the DT because he skipped the combine. Could be hidden, and he is not. That is kind of harsh because he actually is pretty decent as a block shedder, but that's literally it. We traded halfway through the fourth, which means we're probably going to lose that wide receiver, and we do. We also completely forgot to go for for linemen. We do have Gordon Jefferson and then this Presley guy. I think we're going to trade these 4th-round picks and then take Presley in the 5th. So does the AI know who is good? Because the guy's not there anymore, even though he was projected later than this guy. Oh, well, we're going to take this guy, and he's a very bad player. Nice. All right, let's take a look at that draft recap. We landed 5 starting players. 5 players. Michael Turnbull, one of those starting players, and he is indeed at a superstar development. I do not know what to put him at. Number 24, 25 doesn't really work for safety for me. Let's go 41, I guess. Then we also had Ruiz, who was also a hidden player. Please be superstar. Not so much. Number 54. Interesting. And then another hidden safety who is very unlikely to start unless, I was about to say, unless he has superstar development or better, but he didn't. Let's take a look at that linebacker we missed from the Jets. Of course, we landed a pretty good draft ourselves, but let's see. Mr. Garner, 21 years old. Ooh, he was actually insane. Look at those traits. 21 on top of it. And he was X Factor. No. That is unfair. What about Ayers? Here's Mr. Ayers, Solomon Ayers, 22 years old. Definitely a lot more raw than the other guy. Traits aren't that good either. Let's take a look at the development. If he's not superstar or better, he's not that good. Ooh, thank God we didn't get him because I think even Ruiz is better than him. Yeah, he is. He has better traits. He has, great injury stamina and, of course, solid block shed. And pass rush stats aren't terrible. It's just a bit slower. Kinda, because that Excel is a decent bit better. I don't know. Ruiz is definitely a better player than that Ayers guy, though. The real question is, can we trade for a new tackle? Because we're desperate. I was hoping maybe there'd be a decent free agent here. Some interesting rookie names you got there, EA. I don't know how this is going to really change anything, but we found ourselves a hidden development corner. 64 overall is a little low, but it's still hidden. He'll be hidden on the damn roster when we don't start him. We trade the Rams Kazi and a 3rd-round pick for Havenstein, who's 29 and will need a contract the following year. Definitely an immediate starter for us, immediate starter for them with Kazi. Wide receiver is definitely a position we need to look at in the future, and by future I mean like ASAP, because, of course, Julio Jones regressing a bit here. Already only a 92, 93 overall, so this could be our last real chance to get Julio a ring, as he's going to be dragging the team down a little bit with that cap hit and, quote-unquote, the overall drop. And as I was looking for a low overall backup, another hidden rookie. This is why we don't see these guys. 55 overall. There's not really much we can do with that, especially at 23, but, I mean, he was already pretty fast, so, might as well grab him. All right, so we have an 85 overall team, 87-0, 83 defense. Sounds about Atlanta. Offensively, we look good right now for overall. But like we said, we have guys like Matt Ryan who are probably going to regress. Julio Jones who could retire soon. And then look at the defensive side of things. We know that overall is a little bit lower. But we do have youngsters actually starting. We have Ruiz. Was Marlon always star? Well, it wouldn't. He must have been. I can't remember. Once again, this is the second day of me recording this. So did he start with it? Did we give it to him? I don't even know. But he's star development and he's on the team. Or was he just signed on his own? What's the contract? 3rd out of 5. I don't know. I guess so. I could have sworn he was normal. And I also don't feel like I remember him being on the team at all. I don't know. Oh well. So Todd Gurley is actually not asking for a whole lot. I'll give him a 4-year, the $24 million deal. I can see why he never hits free agency. Fowler, I suppose a 3 or 40 isn't, the craziest asking. Okay, dude, craziest asking price. Hayden Hurst, we might let go. Isaiah Oliver, a 3 or 13. I mean, those are very fair contracts. Mays will probably let go. Clayton we will re-sign. And, of course, we're going to try to get Mr. Fowler on board. But yeah, not the worst situation re-signing-wise. Headed to the playoffs, and surprisingly enough, we missed the playoffs. I do not know how an 87 overall team led by Matt Ryan and, you know, some other really talented offensive players just missed the playoffs. We lost to the Saints, the Dolphins, the Bucks, the Skins, the Bills, the Panthers, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Packers. In fairness, was a pretty tough schedule, can't lie. Looking at the actual stat line, though, Matt Ryan, another really good year, X Factor, you know, developing year. Todd Gurley could get to superstar, maybe. At this point, he needs to get superstar within, you know, this year or next year. So he's kind of getting there. Calvin Ridley might have gotten X Factor. Julio Jones, you know, really good season considering how old he's getting. Hayden Hurst, hell, he might get superstar, and if he does, you might have to try to find a way to keep him on for another year or two. I don't know. Deion Jones could have gotten a dev up. Diego Ruiz, though, 14.5. How did this team miss? This is a playoff season. Even Young Ho Koo. Get out of here. This is not Young Ho Koo at all. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. What else do we? So Matt Ryan at number 7. Any other awards? Matt Ryan at number 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. Any Falcons on this list? No. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ruiz. No shocker there. Best QB Matt Ryan at number 3. Mariota at number 1. Okay, dude. Best wide receiver Calvin Ridley at number 4. Julio at number 5. O-line, I really don't care too much, to be fair. D-line, Ruiz was up there, right? Number 4. Linebacker, none. DB, none. Kicker, Young Ho Koo. I don't know, man. Well, we'll go for at least another season, and then depending on how that goes, I don't know. We'll see. We have the Mariota-led Bears against the freaking Lamar Jackson-led Ravens. Of course, the Ravens win, but it should never even have gotten to that point. So Todd Gurley actually does get to superstar development. Unfortunately, Calvin Ridley doesn't get to X Factor. And then as far as everyone else goes, Darren Lee appears to have made it to star. He did. And that's literally it. So I don't even know. I thought Jonathan Jones would have needed a contract this year, no? Already regressing? Yikes. But, yeah, I guess. I mean, there's really not much I could say. It's just kind of a disappointing year considering the talent we had. Alex Mack, you know, we're just not going to pay him. Hayden Hurst, he was a great player, and I actually would love to bring him on, but as far as what we can even afford, it's not a lot. It really isn't. We don't even have the room to make this offer. Thanks. I would not blame you. Yeah, okay. I don't know who we can get rid of, but hopefully we find someone that we can save a ton of money on. Grady Jarrett might be releasable. He's kind of expensive. Ugh, we're only going to save 11 with that move, though. Jake Matthews, maybe? That'd be kind of clutch. Yikes, they really just... They gave the entire house to him, huh? They just don't care. Okay. I mean, I really don't see the move that's going to save this team cap-wise. I just don't. We actually get DJ Chark on a 3-year deal. I don't know if he just thinks we have something special here, or he just likes Matt Ryan, but I am pretty stoked. Of course, Matt Ryan had a really good year. We're going to adjust him again, make him like an 88, 89 overall, because I just think it's fair. I wish they had it like that. I know it's very hard to code something like that into the game, because how can you really determine who truly deserves it? You know, not everyone could play till they're in their, mid to late 40s like Tom Brady. So, how can you really make that judgment? Like, are you just going to let people keep their players going for, the rest of the franchise? I don't know. But for this sake, I think Matt Ryan deserves to be in that high 80 range still, rather than 82 overall, only at 37 years old. Julio Jones really should be too. I'll bump him to a 90. I lied, I bumped him to a 92. Chark will most likely replace Julio Jones in the future. I really wish we would have got a damn tight end, but we didn't. As far as the draft goes, we really just need to be looking for replacements for expensive positions. If we can get rid of, Jake Matthews, that would be huge, because he's making a ton of money to be a very average player. And looking at the defensive side, Fowler's making a decent bit. Jones is going to be gone soon, but I'd be willing to just let him hit free agency, to be honest. So as far as what the draft needs are, probably linebacker, definitely O-line, tight end, and wide receiver optional. We signed Ryan Izzo and Monte Nicholson. I suppose if we can't get a better tight end, Izzo's going to be the starter. There is a rookie, but he is a mid-first, I believe, so I don't know if I want to get him. We'll also get Malik Jefferson as a backup. All right, so we have pick 11. These are the players we have on our board. So we have Mr. Alexander Andrews. The skills look great. He's pretty damn fast, 22 years old. He is a little shorter than I'd like, 6'3", but definitely really good. We also have Quentin Grant, a very good linebacker. What was his mid-first for him? And Andrews also mid-first. So I'm going to slow sim around those picks, and the moment one of them goes, I believe we will trade up. I honestly don't know who we should go for more. Tight end is very hard to get, so honestly, if the tight end's there, and if they're both there, I think we might go tight end. It's a tough one, though. It is very tough, and the Raiders take neither, so we do, in fact, have the choice at both. Ugh. Like, why couldn't they just be like, oh no, the linebacker's gone? Like, that linebacker looks sick. If Andrews doesn't have better than Starr, it's a loss. But then again, linebacker's not the hardest thing to draft or just develop in general. We do also have tight end Robert Gillies, of course. Very unlikely for him to have any sort of dev. If any, it'd be like Starr. I think we're actually going to do the unexpected thing, which is go for tight end. And he is hidden. Okay, fair enough. 74 overall is a little lower than I'd like. Depending on that dev, I think he is going to be an automatic starter, but depending on that dev, we'll obviously know if it was a good decision or not, I suppose. Now, as far as our next pick goes, we have Dwayne Dixon, and I know right now maybe the pass rush decision or department isn't the biggest need, and even for... Oh, who's this? Hunter Meredith. Okay, that's very interesting. I know the pass rush department is the number one need as of right now. However, it's going to be a need as soon as Fowler's, on that final year. Maybe at 29, you'd look to replace him. Dwayne Dixon could be that guy. Very fast. B+ finesse. B+ pursuit. B+ awareness. 21 years old. He looks the part. I don't know if you want to pass on him. I think with Matt Ryan on the older side, I think we're just going to keep simming until we get to 11. And if the QB or him goes, we trade up. I am very nervous because I actually do want that pass rusher more than the QB. And, of course, he goes at pick 10 in the second round. The Raiders absolutely rob us. Now, you have two QBs here, though. That's the thing. Bernard Chapman, who is a fast fella, and he is also 23, in fairness. This is tough, actually. I feel like this guy's going to be the one with Dev. This guy is going to be the one maybe Star. I think Meredith is the guy you go for. 72 overall hidden. No idea what his Dev is. That throw power is weak, and he does have a little bit of speed. So, I mean, it was a good pick, right? It isn't a... I forgot we have a bunch of extra draft picks. So we got the Bears 2nd and 5th next year for 18, which is honestly a very big win for them. I know they didn't draft too well, but... definitely a win for them. Honestly, if we're being legit, the only hope really is Dev. This guy can't be higher than like a 69, 70. Not even, but we did say the hidden might be his best chance, and it definitely was because he's lacking a bit. But 68 overall hidden, I mean, even with Star, that isn't really that good. But if he is better than Star, he could start. But if he's not, then yeah, no chance. Don't get me wrong, that guy had Dev, but I think we might risk it again and take... Yeah, let's take Clay Floyd as well. And another hidden. Okay, 70 overall hidden. To be fair, they both look really rough. I ain't gonna lie, but that is clutch. As much as, they do kind of suck, they had hidden, so they do have potential. They have a chance. So both of our players we had late are there, so we're just going to take him in the 5th. Mr. Robert Gillies. Thankfully, we did take the tight end because, yes, this guy might have a little bit of potential, but as far as a rebuild goes, it's very unlikely to get him to anything halfway usable. And then, this guy might be a little bit of a reach, but that finesse is hard to ignore, so we will not be able to. And, okay, this is interesting. A 67 overall hidden, kind of fast DT. Really seems just like a slightly slower edge rusher. Obviously, he has the weight. It's very, very interesting player there. I don't know what the hell we're going to do with him, but okay. And we draft a random fullback in the 7th round to finish our draft. I guess he'll be our starter. We don't have a real fullback. I don't think we had one last season either. All right, draft recap. I mean, as far as pick 11 goes, it was pretty successful. Obviously, the devs are what's going to really determine how great they were. And, okay, that is all we needed. Superstar development is perfectly fine. Let's put him in the 80s. 87 is a pretty classic, pretty solid tight end number. Meredith, maybe Matt Ryan's future replacement. 23 is a bit old, but still. I definitely have to take a look at the other guy because I just took this guy because the pocket passers seem to be always the best. And this is a good draft. This is a very good draft. Let's take a look at Mr. Floyd. I can't. You can't exactly start him because Matt Ryan's still a god and he's under contract, but at the same time, an X-Factor rookie QB, if he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, he's kind of a god out the gate. This is tough. Let's take a look at the other QB that I really am curious to see what the dev is. Probably only star, but, either way. Chapman, 71 overall, hidden as well as we expected. A little bit better throw power, obviously a lot faster. The development is... Okay, so yeah, this guy was better. This was a very good QB draft. Don't get me wrong, I'm still happy with who we had, but it's no question. Chapman is obviously better than the guy we had. But either way, it's... If they're going to start that guy, I don't think we'll start ours, but if they aren't, I don't know. Okay, they are going to start him, so it would be competition. I think we're going to let Matt Ryan continue to be the QB unless there is a legitimate chance to save money by getting rid of him. And there just isn't. You're going to pretty much eat it. I mean, you're not going to lose anything, but you're also not going to, gain any cap space. So, yeah, we'll just sit him as a backup for now. And then, he might still go up to like a 78, 80 overall just in the practice. But this team, I mean, it is good. Is it good enough to win, a playoff spot and maybe a Super Bowl berth? I do not know. The real question is, can we even afford this team? That's another question we'll have the answer for soon enough. That'll probably be a bad answer. Hey, another hidden guy out of free agency, a kicker, Benjamin Kane. Let's see if there's any other ones. Probably not. We traded Jonathan Jones, Havenstein, and a second-round pick to the Lions, who had a projected pick 2 overall. I don't know if that's going to actually happen or not, but I know it's a little unfair for us to say last season, if we don't make the Super Bowl, we give up, considering, we did kind of take a bit of a step back, but we had a team that was really good, and it just wasn't enough anyways. And, I mean, I can't have the rebuild go on for 10 seasons. It'll be like a 2-hour video, and it would just take me all day. So, I think we're going to at least give it this next season. And then, depending on where we are, maybe we'll do another one. I don't know. But we do have some really high dev, rookies starting soon. So, even though they do look lower in overall, it could be mid-season by the time they're in their 80s. So, we'll see. Of course, the rookie right tackle, well, we moved to a right tackle, will start. And we're probably going to start Floyd as well because he is star. But all we need to do is win, 6 of the first 8 games, like I said, and we'll be easily set. All right, looking at the actual re-signings, this kicker who might be our long-term guy in the future, we'll see. Calvin Ridley still doesn't want a crazy amount, 4-year, 60. I honestly feel like I don't understand the salary cap. I get there might be some big names here. I mean, there's not that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Madden's different, but maybe what it is that Madden doesn't keep up. Like, the contracts for the players aren't rising as much as the salary cap is. Because how do we have so much money, yet we have not that many people to re-sign? Like, we have 60 mil to work with. I don't know. Why should I complain? I should be happy. Well, we got our re-signings, whatever. All right, headed to the playoffs. We're looking pretty good, and we do finish with an 11-5 season. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get that bye week, but an 11-5 season is still great nonetheless. And of course, like we said, you know, a lot of our overalls were going to rise pretty quickly as long as we had a good season to start, and it appears that's what happened. Matt Ryan had, I think it might be his best season yet since we started this rebuild, at least. Let's take a look. No. Yeah? No, but he still played really well. As far as rushing goes, Todd Gurley could and probably should become an X factor. Julio kills it. Calvin does really well as well. Chark and Andrews, they do very well, considering, you know, how many people we have to feed here. Summers does, you know, pretty good job considering he started out as a 68 overall. You know, majority of the sacks could have been right out the gate. Diego Ruiz does have a little bit of a down year compared to his rookie year, but still 9 is pretty good for Madden Sim. Pick totals, you know, pretty decent stuff. Younghoe Koo will be replaced after this season with that rookie we signed long term. And punting, you know, we don't really care about that. As far as the awards go, I don't really expect too much here. Matt Ryan, number 2. Deion Jones, number 2. Andrews, that would have been a huge win. But, of course, QB Chapman is going to win that one. Maybe we should have given him a run for his money with our rookie, but I don't know. I feel like Matt Ryan just gave us the best chance to succeed, and I don't know if I can really argue with that. He had a pretty close to MVP season, it would seem. Going against the Eagles, let's see, 9-7 versus, you know, Bird versus Bird. We aren't really that great in overall comparatively, so if we do lose, it makes sense. It's just the real question is, what is the move? Do we continue? I don't know. Going to the end of the game, I definitely do think we have the team to win it all because we have a great set of receivers. It's just, will the sim gods be on our side? Really needed that touchdown. Good job. You know, we're down 3 at half. And to start the second half, it looks very 50-50 right now. Offense does get a nice passing touchdown all the way down the field. It is a 20-13 game. A very weird one, but we hold on for the victory. Let's take a look at the actual stat line. Carson Wentz threw the game away completely. Rushing was okay. Passing was okay. Defensively, you know, nothing really special at all. Kendall Sheffield, of all the names to show up, it's so weird to me. And was that a 63-yarder from Younghoe Koo, or is that a 53? I don't know. Something long, kind of. And the Chicago Bears, of course. Mariota, I believe. 82 overall Bears with Mariota, I believe, at quarterback. 70-something overall. Apparently this good? Okay. I don't know if I believe it, but... All right, start of this game. Left to right apparently is us. We get 3 points. Very, you know, kind of scoreless first quarter. Driving down nicely, but we only get 3. Halftime, a 6-7 score. Nice touchdown with the 2-point conversion. 14-7, 21-7. Close game. The Bears got a chance. Offense tried so hard to give them a chance. Luckily, defense holds on. This is, I don't know. I feel like we should be doing way better, and we just aren't. Thankfully, the defense seems to be locking down. Cole Kmet with a really good game. Looking at that defensive stat line. We actually had a lot of sacks. You know, we kind of outperformed them in the sack department. Kicking, Younghoe Koo did well. Straight up, just, you know, we won. Barely, but we did win. And we're on to the championship against probably someone like the Cowboys, right? Cowboys or Seahawks. It is the Giants. We have seen that team a couple of times recently and in this rebuild. Quentin Grant, they drafted the Giants, man. 86 overall. Some drafts they've had. All right, let's see how this goes. We do get 3. We get 10 total now. 10-7, interesting score. A little bit of a shootout here. Down by 1. We are now up by 6. Do not get the 2-point conversion unless we just didn't try it. 23-24, 29-24. We are failing hard on these 2 points. This is a hell of a game right now. We're up by 2. A huge drive, and we move on to the Super Bowl. Okay, I mean, I knew this was in us all along. It's just kind of crazy to actually see it, you know, happen. Matt Ryan finally carried the team, finally proving, okay, I can get this, I can get that ring, I can do it. As long as we're not playing the Patriots, which I believe it is the Chiefs, so, you know, here we are. I'm sorry, Falcons fans. It had to be said. Probably should have made a joke about that earlier on, to be honest. All right, on to the Super Bowl. Like we said, against those Chiefs, 11-5. Both teams were in 88 overall, maybe 89, depending on what devs, not dev-ups, what's it called, upgrades we've had. Any offensive, it doesn't appear we had any offensive dev-ups. I thought Gurley might have gotten one. Defensively, I think Schuler, whatever, got to star. But outside of that, I don't think we had a dev up. I really don't think we did. So, yeah, I mean, the dev ups have been a bit scarce in this rebuild, but here we are trying to get the ultimate freaking goal, which is a Super Bowl victory for Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and the other Falcons that are still on the roster. 88 overall to their 86. This is a bit of an offensive shootout here. I think we do have the better built defense, though, so as far as top to bottom, it's a close one, but I'd say we have the nod, and I think that overall kind of, reflects that a bit, especially considering they don't even have Chris Jones. Early on, we turn over the ball. They only get 3 points off of it, so it's, it's all right. Our damn field goal kicker, is it Younghoe Koo missing these extra points? I don't know who it is, but I'm getting sick and tired of it. Start of the second half, it's 13-all. We are now up 20-13, 20-all. Defense trying its best. The Chiefs tie it up. It looks like we're in field goal range. We are, and they get a touchdown. 50 seconds left, and the Chiefs cannot do it. We win the Super Bowl. I mean, I was literally going to say, like, this is the final season of the rebuild, win or lose. If we at least make the Super Bowl, I'll be happy, but we actually won the thing. Okay, so, I mean, we definitely did deserve it. This team was built to win it. The offensive firepower was, off the charts, even though Julio is just about to retire. He's still a great player. Even if we didn't fix his progression, he'd still be a really solid player, 89 overall or whatever. But ultimately, we did enough in the defense. The defense is really the MVP throughout this playoffs. I think the offense kind of clutched it in this one, but for the most part, defense bailed out that offense so many times, and everything went well together, and we just barely, and I mean barely, snuck by for a Super Bowl victory. Atlanta gets the glory finally there. Don't remember any issues from the past. Number 31 for Gurley. I doubt he's going to wear that, right? Probably not. But we see the trophy animation. You literally just see, if you've seen it once, you've seen them all. Just imagine your team's uniform there. I know that's what Lions fans would think. I mean, what? I apologize. Okay, I made a video recently for Lions fans, so they can be happy. Who the hell is this guy? Preston Sobieski. I don't know, dude. Kendall Sheffield, man, kind of killed it. He had like 3 or 4 picks in the postseason alone. Absolute monster. But regardless, victory for the Falcons. Rebuild success. And look, what are the chances of that? I don't think that's, like something that happens often, right? I think they literally just give you a random X factor, don't they? I see Mahomes all the time. I see Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady. I see all of them all the time. But Julio, I don't know. I think that was, I don't know, dude. That's crazy. Regardless, thanks for watching. If you guys did enjoy, maybe leave a like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Check out the second channel, PKR Plays. There's little end cards, maybe even on the screen now, maybe linking you to a video or something on the channel. Also, we will have a Minecraft Dungeons video out later today on the channel as well for the second channel. And if you want to follow me on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr, that would be great as well. Regardless, there will be another Rebuild Thursday and Sunday as usual. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.